Hey, it's Zero. This is a quick guide to Harith. Now, Harith is touted as a mage who specializes in burst damage and has a strong teamfight presence. We'll show you some basics, the build, the combos, and how to take advantage of his passive. We'll also throw in a little bit of the Layla abuse from the practice mode on the advanced server. Before I start, I want to point out that Harith has a rather weak early game, so it's important that you build him properly early game and get Ice Queen Wand first. This may seem a little bit counterintuitive, but trust me, it's better than rushing the Calamity Reaper first. That comes later. Alright, so let's start out as we normally do. When you spawn, you will want to prioritize getting Synchro Fission first, since it does the most damage and has a pretty high damage scaling. As the game goes on, you will be more reliant on Chrono Dash than Synchro Fission, but getting Synchro Fission is critical early game. Quick note, Synchro Fission will deal the full damage even if the enemy is not in the center. But if they are fast enough to escape, they can escape the second part of the damage, which is why you want to try to aim this skill in the middle of team fights. Speaking of Chrono Dash is one of the most powerful skills to ever be given to a mage, due to the fact that the shield it generates has no cooldown, and since hitting an enemy with a basic attack afterwards reduces the cooldown of this skill by 4 seconds, you're in for a lot of damage. Did I mention that the basic attacks carry a 70% slowdown and are affected by items like Berserker's Fury? Well, now you know. Oh, and just in case that wasn't enough, Chrono Dash will also steal the magic attack from nearby enemy heroes without actually having to hit them. And since the shield is based on magic power, ganking mages generates bigger shields. On to the ultimate. Harith's ultimate is a bit unique. Now, you want to aim this along the path you think your enemies will escape, but you also want to try to hit the enemies with it. Preferably aim this near a wall, we'll see why later. Summon Force carries a 1.2 second root for any enemy hero whom it hits, followed by a 50% slowdown if they walk along the path with the sword. Make sure you try to hit the path while hitting enemies with your Chrono Dash, as this will reset the cooldown of Chrono Dash by 4 seconds just like before, but it will also reset the cooldown of Synchro Fission by 1 second. Now you don't have to dash along the sword, but simply dashing to and from it is enough to activate the cooldown effect. Let's talk about Harith's passive, and there's more to it than meets the eye. Harith's passive is called Key Insight, and it works by giving you 70% resilience whenever you are near 5 enemies. If there's only one enemy, the resilience gained is only 14%, if there's 2 enemies it's 28%, but just keep on adding 14% per enemy. Pairing this up with Tough Boots gives you a 39% base resilience, meaning any type of crowd control only lasts for 61% of the intended duration. If there's 5 enemies nearby, you will only be crowd controlled for 5% of the duration, since the resilience goes up to 95%. Quick tip, this passive can indicate when enemies are in a brush nearby, so you don't have to actually see them to know when somebody's close. Use this to avoid ganks, and if you want to increase the resilience over 100%, go ahead and get the yellow potion. It carries another extra 15% resilience because 95% is not enough. Yes, that means you're immune to crowd control, by the way, as long as there's 5 enemies nearby. Time to dash into the combos. Now, Harith's combos are simple to execute, but you will be spamming those buttons. The only difficult part about casting these skills is when your ultimate is involved, since you will have to try and aim your dashes at the sword. Combo 1 capitalizes on AoE damage and is mainly used for poking. The way it works is by using Synchro Fission to keep your distance from your enemies, while side dashing to keep on outputting max damage. Use this combination only when it is too risky to go out into the open. Combo 2 is a bit more aggressive. You want to make sure you hit your enemies with your ultimate first to root them in place, and even if they are on the far end of the sword, use your dash to quickly close the distance and finish the kill. Combo 3 is absolutely broken. No, seriously, broken to the extreme. The way you activate this combo is by trapping an enemy with your ultimate. The next step is to use a basic attack, and finally, follow with a skill 2 spam at the wall, just like Fanny does. This combo will completely ignore the cooldown on the Calamity Reaper and will delete enemies within seconds. Way stronger than Lunox. The closer you are to 40% cooldown and the faster attack speed that you have, the faster that you can spam this. If there are enemies nearby, this shield will also be permanently activated since you're technically just spamming skill 2, which has no cooldown on the shield. I was actually having some fun with some builds, and I don't see why Harith can't go ADC, but fair enough, he's a mage, so we'll keep him magic for the most part. I hope you found this guide helpful. If you did not know about a combo 3, make sure to share it with your friends because everybody's going to be absolutely destroying this combo in ranked games and classic games everywhere. Harith is going to just destroy people at like level 4 as long as he has enough cooldown. And anybody with an emblem is going to carry 30% cooldown as soon as he gets the Ice Queen wand. Thanks for watching, guys.